Chapter 419. Cousin Snowy 2. Boom. In the next moment, as the blue-clothed woman killed with a sword, the cold air that escaped from the surface of that sword froze the water in mid-air, forming an ice mountain that crashed towards the sudden attacking water Wuxian. Good tactics, worthy of being Snow White. Shui Wu Hun sighed in admiration, but his face did not show the slightest bit of fear. His palm momentum remained unchanged, only his power was enhanced by a lot, and he directly blasted his palm on top of the ice mountain. Hiss la la la. Immediately, a series of explosions, the huge ice mountain was unexpectedly shattered by Shui Wuin's palm, turning into countless ice shards, and these ice chips, but like sharp arrows, towards the woman in blue asterisk 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 asterisk. The blue-clothed woman suddenly changed her expression when she saw this, and the ice-gold sword in his hand violently danced a gorgeous sword flower, and all the incoming ice shards were all crushed in the sword flower. However, although the blue-clothed woman blocked the ice and snow, but could not block the water Wuxian, after he shattered the ice mountain, his momentum did not decrease and continued to blast with a palm. Even though the woman in blue was surrounded by sword blossoms and dripping water, Shui Wuin's pair of meaty palms still hardened through the seamless sword blossoms and blasted onto her shoulders. Yuanying stage. You've broken through the Yuanying stage. Seeing Shui Wu Hun destroying her sword flower, the blue-clothed woman's pupils shrunk violently, her face full of incredulity. The corners of Shui Wuin's mouth pulled out a sinister smile at his words. That's right, I did reach the Yuanying stage, but I broke through away from the forest of misty trails, so I didn't violate the rules of the three great clans. As his words fell, the blue-clothed woman was thrown out like a kite with a broken string, crashing into the top of a giant tree. Theft. Although the blue-clothed woman braced herself for her injuries and immediately climbed up, she still couldn't help but spray out a mouthful of blood, her face looking a little pale. Is it possible that your water family wants to start a war with my Bai family? Wiping off the blood from the corner of her mouth, the blue-clothed woman glared at Shui Wu Hun, who was not far away, with an angry expression. Shui Wu Hun didn't attack again, as the woman in blue had already been seriously injured and lost her fighting strength, and was not the slightest threat to him. Princess White Snow is overstating it. Our two families will soon be in-laws. How could we possibly go to war? Shui Wu Hun smiled at his words. What do you mean? The blue-clothed woman's face sank. What do you mean? Shui Wu Hun was filled with a sinister smile. A touch of smugness flashed in his eyes as he said, it means ... brother ... save me. Suddenly, a loud roar came. Shui Wu Hun and the blue-clothed woman instantly turned their heads to look, only to see that not far away, Kang Tia, who was originally fighting the 5 silver-colored giant wolves, did not know when he had already resolved the 5 silver-colored giant wolves, and had also defeated Shui Wuxing, stomping him on the ground. Shui Wuxing was in a very sorry state at the moment, being trampled on the ground by Kang Tia, his face full of grief and indignation. Damn it! How is that possible? As soon as Shui Wu Hun saw his brother's miserable appearance, he was first furious, then a flash of shock flashed across his eyes. He was aware of his brother's strength, although it was not as strong as Bai Zhu, but after all, he was also a peak Jiden stage powerhouse, and was able to rank in the top 10 in the young generation of Penglai Immortal Island. More importantly, he had previously observed Kang Tia and found that Kang Chan's cultivation was only at the middle to late stage of the Jiden stage, so it was impossible for him to be his brother's opponent. But the scene in front of him let him know that he had been wrong this time. Kang Tia was a strong person with a deep hidden talent. Not only was Shui Wu Hun shocked, the blue-clothed woman on the side was filled with incredulity as she looked at Kang Tia, who had his hands on his back and was stepping on Shui Wu Hun under his feet. With a relaxed expression, Her beautiful eyes were filled with shock. How is it possible? How could he be so strong? Could it be that he had been hiding his strength before? The blue-clothed woman's mind was filled with doubts as her thoughts churned in her mind. But she immediately showed joy, now that Kang Tia had subdued Water Formless. Then she was qualified to negotiate with Shui Wuhan. Through the previous conversation with Shui Wuhan, she already knew the other party's despicable purpose. She was still worried about it, but now it was solved all at once, making her surprised at Kang Chon's strength and relieved at the same time. I didn't expect that I was saved by the strange guy I picked up halfway this time. After clearing her thoughts, the blue-clothed woman's heart was immediately calmed down, looking at Kang Tia, who was not far away with a domineering aura, with a variety of colors in his eyes. At this time Kang Tia, where there is the previous low-profile appearance, the whole set of sharp, domineering imagination. Look at the blue-clothed woman's heart, secretly shocked, heart that this person's origin is bound to be extraordinary. Kid, quickly let go of my brother, otherwise I will break you into pieces. A furious roar came out steeply, but it was Shui Wuhan who saw his brother's miserable appearance and went crazy. He roared at the sky, his Yuanying stage aura bursting forth, sweeping through the entire space. One of the bloodthirsty knights of the Bai family was immediately filled with fear, shocked by this powerful aura. Even Butler Wang's face was grave and gloomy as he guarded beside the blue-clothed woman, his face filled with nervousness. At this moment, with the tragic death of the golden one-horned giant wolf, the wolves that had besieged the Bai family had already retreated. Butler Wang brought the remaining bloodthirsty knights to guard beside the blue-clothed woman and looked at Shui Wuhan vigilantly. Eldest Miss, isn't it a rule of the three great clans that Yuanying stage powerhouses are not allowed to enter the forest of misty trails? How did this Shui Wuhan blend in? Butler Wang asked with a puzzled expression. Could it be that they, the Shui family, dared to blatantly violate the rules? They and the Shui family didn't break the rules. Shui Wuhan broke through to the Yuanying stage in the forest of misty trails. The blue-clothed woman smiled bitterly. This time we have been tricked by the Water family. No wonder Water Wusheng clearly could have broken through to the Yuanying stage earlier, but he deliberately suppressed his cultivation. So it turns out that he was waiting for this opportunity. Damn it, the Water family is too despicable and shameless. Butler Wang sniffed angrily. Blame them. It's us who overlooked the loopholes in this regulation, allowing the Shui family to take advantage of it. The blue-clothed woman sighed, then looked towards the Kangshan sky and said in some awe, "This person's strength is very terrifying. The peak Jidan stage water formlessness was defeated by him in a few moments. Even I couldn't do it." Yes, the old monarch was also surprised. I didn't expect this kid to hide us all from him. If I had known that he had this kind of strength, how could the old monarch have let him blend in? A flash of shame flashed across Butler Wang's face as he smiled and blamed himself. With such a powerful strength as Kang Tia, if he had previously shown any dissent towards them, then they would all be wiped out this time. Just thinking about it made Butler Wang feel terrified and secretly blamed himself. "I don't blame you." The blue-clothed woman waved her hand at his words and shook her head. "This person's hiding of his aura is very powerful. Even I can't see through it. But then again, if it wasn't for him this time, we really would have been wiped out altogether. Moreover, from this journey, this person does not have any malicious intent towards us, and his teaching of Little Kong are also very serious. It seems that he just wants to borrow us to facilitate leaving the forest of misty trails." After the woman in blue said that, she turned her head to look at Butler Wang and said in a deep voice, "This person has such strength at such a young age. I'm afraid that he also has an extraordinary position in the Gravity Desert. And since he wants to leave the Misty Trail Forest by the hand of our Bai family, then there is a possibility for us to cooperate. Don't worry, eldest miss, I know what to do." Butler Wang pondered slightly, then frowned. But no matter how strong he is, he can't be a match for Shui Wuhan. Do you need us to help him? No need. The blue-clothed woman waved her hand at his words, and with a flash of light in her eyes, she said, although the two brothers, Shui Wuhan and Shui Wuhan, are despicable and shameless, but the two of them dare to be very good, and with Shui Wuhan as a hostage, Shui Wuhan wouldn't dare to mess around. Butler Wong sniffed indistinctly. Isn't it true? At this time, although Water Wuhan was very angry, but didn't dare to attack Kang Chia, but only stared at Kang Chia to death, blocking all the routes that Kang Chia could escape. Brother, save me. Kid, I, Shui Wuhan, swear that I will definitely break you into pieces. Water Formless, who was trampled under Kang Chon's feet, roared with a face full of grief and anger. Oh, is that so? Hearing this, Kang Chia snorted coldly, and a huge force passed through his foot, ruthlessly stepping on Shui Wuxing's chest, causing him to stifle a mouthful of blood. Shui Wuxing almost fainted from the pain, staring at Kang Chia with two eyes of incomparable resentment. Stop! The mid-air Shui Wuhan shouted angrily, but did not dare to attack Kang Chia.